Hey there, guys. So, following the Bushy Road stream for today, there were, how to point that way, several cards revealed. But overall, the stream was actually really disappointing. I'm not gonna get too into it, but basically, I am a little worried. No, it's a bit of an understatement. Before, I was a little worried. Now, there have been many opportunities to announce a new product, and the fact that they haven't, that basically, we know nothing beyond May, right? So a month, we know nothing about any upcoming product. Now, to be fair, there's Korokoro, which comes out, I believe, like in 2 days. In Japan, in 2 days, so basically tomorrow at some point. Like it really should be leaking. The content should be leaking if it hasn't already. Um, and so if there's nothing in there, then there's always the box opening streams. We might get something there if that's still going to happen with the current situation. But this is not good. But like, why are we waiting so long for anything? Literally anything. Um, Personally, I think it's likely that the game is getting a reboot. Especially when we'll come to the cards that have been revealed today. The power level is, I mean, it's gone to the point where it's just, you know, it's it's really difficult to make something interesting and new. And I feel like they've basically power crept themselves into a corner that'll be quite difficult to get out of, because they're just gonna have to keep raising the stakes now in like really significant steps. Pretty much ever since Time Dragons came out, it's been bad. But anyway, I've rambled for a couple of minutes on that. This isn't the topic of that video. I just thought I'd mention it. And instead, let's get started with the cards for today. So, first card we got this item. It's 5/2, critical cost 1 gauge, 1 life. If size 2 or greater Dragon is on your field, all Dragon data travel on your field cannot be destroyed. Leave the field and their abilities become nullified by opponent's card effects. It's pretty good. Counteract, you may pay 1 gauge. If you do, put up to 1 monster with Gargantua in its card name from your deck into your drop zone and shuffle your deck. Then you may put that card on top of your deck. So you only activate once per turn, double attack. So, I mean, that's a pretty nice effect. I can think of several ways, just off the top of my head, that would be useful. Maybe some, like, it could be pretty nice to put the G-Evo Garga, the Daily Garga, on top of deck, then shove it into Soul when you pay the cost for another Garga, and then you can G-Evo you can call it from Soul, and then do some G-Evos. That could be fun. I'm not super up to date on Garga stuff. I haven't been sitting here testing, really. So I don't know that is something that's super likely to be good. That being said, well, I don't know how good this second ability will be. But I mean, the item is unquestionably good, and I think the next, this card in the top left you see there, that is certainly rather good. So I think Garga will definitely be a viable deck in the coming format whenever that happens. Next, another item, and this is also a very good item. 1 gauge, 1 life. If it's ice or create a dragon in the field, or blah blah blah. The same ability as the Dragon World one, so we can expect Katana World one shortly. Consecutive arts. During each player's attack phase, when a monster enters your field by G-Evo, put up to 1 spell from your deck into your hand, shuffle your deck. One's named on the turn, double attack. I mean, this is obviously an excellent card. I think if this had come out back in Ace Set 3, Madrigaga would have been dominating the meta. Like, unquestionably, complete domination. As it is, it's coming out now, possibly the end of the game. And it's just not up to par. It's not going to help the deck do anything. It's certainly good, and obviously you will run it. You will immediately be throwing out the old broom and running this one. But it doesn't really give you anything, which it does suck. That is kind of sad, but it's a good item. If it had added a spell every time a Dragon entered your field, that might have been pretty crazy, and that might have done something to make Dragon like a top tier deck. To make Madrigaga a top tier deck, although it might have inadvertently broken Madrigaga in some other way. So I don't know. probably not a good idea for the ability to be that. Anyway, Dark Venom Dragon Sword, which is pretty surprising. This is a 2-gauge object soul course. When it enters the field, drop up the top 4 cards of your deck and put all Venom Swamp, well, put all Swamp spells with set into your hand. At the end of the battle, this card attacks. You may destroy a swamp set on the field. If you do, gain 2 life and draw a card. Triple attack Soul Guard. This will suffer from the same issue that every card does nowadays, in that it can be stunned. So yeah. Now here we have a mapped item, and this shit is really good. If this had come out during the first Ace Climax booster, I think we might have actually seen a resurgence of Matt, because this is a really good card. The Soul's Wall Matt with his card Soul cannot drop opponent's card effect. So this was a super necessary effect that the deck has needed literally since day one. The whole reason that the deck was not best deck in format was because Electro Deity could just use the Oni Assassin impact and wipe all the soul, and then immediately you lost. So this would have made them top, unquestionably. Then we have 2 counteracts. So the first one is if it's in the soul, you may pay 1 life. If you do, stand the card of a Madsen Soul. That's pretty good. But again, suffers from the whole stun issue. And then counteract during your turn, choose up to 1 card in your opponent's field, and you may put this card from your hand into the soul of a mobile area team if you destroy the chosen card. Nice that this is choose up to 1, and then you may put this card, so basically you can, even if there's nothing to target whatever, you can always just jam it into soul. Yeah, this is decent. It's a good item. Is it going to make Matt tier 1? No. Is it going to make Matt tier 2? Maybe. Kind of tier 4 right now, tier 3 right now. So, I'll definitely go way up to the top of tier 3, if not tier 2, with this item. Next we got an Astro Dragon card. 1 gauge, choosing one of the following 2. Either put 2 up to 2. Words are hard. Put up to 2 Astro Dragon monsters or items with different card names and drop them into your hand, or counter if an Astro Dragon monster in the field, draw a card, then put all Astro Dragon monsters from the field to separate areas of the field. If this was free, it would probably get a run at like 1 or 2. It costs a gauge, so like maybe it's good. I don't think it's that good. Our first Lost World card, and certainly the worst of the 2. You may only cast a card during attacking your opponent's turn. If you have no monsters on your center, counter, none while the attacking your turn life. I'm conflicted on this, because on the one hand, counter speed gain 10 life is pretty fucking good. On the other hand, you have to null an attack, and you can't have monsters in the center. Though it doesn't have to be an attack on you, which is certainly a plus. So, it's okay. It's okay. Fully possible. I think an issue with a lot of Lost cards is they might seem average, or it's very difficult to judge them immediately and know for certain how good they are, because it might actually be kind of broken, especially because the format is going to be changing so much to be a lot more defensive, with all these crazy new defensive cards that Bushiroad have given us. So I think it's very possible that this card will be really good. Remains to be seen, but I don't like the fact that you do have to nullify an attack. This card just sucks. I'm not even going to bother. Super Nagio Castle, battle building set. You may drop a battle building monster from your hand. If you do, put 12 card engage and draw. You only use ability once per turn. If this wasn't once per turn, the deck would probably be pretty playable. Maybe. Counteract, pay 1 gauge. If you do, call Nagoya from your hand, drop something without paying full cost. Standard battle building effect. It's not going to make battle building playable. And kind of the best 2 cards for last. Dimension Slayer. Counter, stand all cards on your field. Then for this turn, all cards on the field can attack during the final phase. And if you stood 3 or more cards, draw. Obviously, this is amazing. Obviously. This is kind of crazy, because what you get here is an out to react Moon, because that's only during the battle phase, right? Also, you get away. You get an out to phase ending. You get an out to. You don't get an out to getting stunned, but you If you're worried about, like a React Moon or something, you can always use this without swinging and then go into final phase and do this shit then. But yeah, I mean, this is a great card, obviously. And it stands the whole board. It doesn't care about attributes, doesn't care what's there, it stands everything. Pretty good. This card in Time Dragons is going to be really, really, really good, because now when you go into your 12 crit, fuck it, actually, I'm not sure, can you do that in Lost? I don't know, I need to check that, I haven't considered that. But anyway, the point is, the card's good. Don't roast me too much. Finally, Fighter's High. You may only cast a card if there are 3 more different Dragord in your drop zone. Chaos cost, drop a hand card and pay to gauge. Counter for this turn, all Dragon Dragon you have on your field cannot be destroyed. You cannot take damage, and then return all cards from drop zone to your deck and shuffle it. So, deck reset, survive the turn. Obviously amazing. Thankfully, it's a once per fight ability. I don't know how I'd cope if this wasn't once per fight. It would be ridiculously broken. Yeah, good card's good. So you can sort of see why I think Dragon Data Tribe Gargan might be pretty good in the upcoming format, because obviously, we've already got the final G, but it's Will, no, not Will. Ultimate Garga? I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about. That's already pretty good now, so yeah. It'll be interesting. Alright, so that's it. The stream reels. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for the reboot announcement probably in about 20 minutes from when I upload this video. Alright, cool. See you guys next time. Cheers.